hard.
Fucking deep ball.
Tough.
Shit, you're looking at these motherfuckers actually some old joints.
Time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. Yeah, buddy. You already know what it is, man. Old heads, man. We coming to y'all, man. A new night, man. Y'all better catch up. Saturday nights, man. Old heads, episode 27. If you don't know, today we gonna be talking about the top 5 offensive players in the NFC. It might be 5 offensive linemen. It might be 5 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 5 tight ends, 5 fullbacks. Highly unlikely, but top 5 players in the NFC. Top 5 offensive players in the NFC, man. If you guys don't know, man, Old Heads, we're a sports podcast, man. And hey, man, we doing big things. We appreciate y'all checking us out. I'm your co-host, Omar, a.k.a. O'Milly, a.k.a. that dude, a.k.a. Mr. Rello. If you know, you know. And, man, I'm going to go ahead and kick it to these brothers, let them introduce themselves so we can go ahead and get this show kicked off.
The boy Bills, man.
Endo, aka French Loaf.
French Loaf! French Loaf!
I still don't know what that means.
I still don't know, but it's better than Maple Jordan.
Right.
It is definitely better than Maple Jordan. I would definitely say
I
that.
don't know what that means either.
It is That was Andrew Wiggins' name.
Oh,
Because
no.
he's from Canada.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they called him Maple Jordan.
They should have
Yeah,
put Jordan on
yeah,
his name.
Maple
Associated.
Jordan.
Only
Hey.
Jordan should be associated with him with the shit on his feet. If he wearing some Jordans, some Jordan gear, okay.
Oh, mate.
Facts. But hey, we want to go ahead and kick it off, man. First, want to give a big shout out, man. I was a little salty, man. The boy Izzy Asanya lost this past Saturday to Alex Pereira. Actually, Pereira is actually 3-0 against Izzy. A few people out there that know that Pereira had beat him twice in kickboxing. Actually KO'd him in Glory of Heroes 7. Was a pretty nasty KO. And then this past Saturday, he beat him again. Izzy, I'm a big fan. Probably when you talk about UFC fighters, I would put him in my top 5 favorite all time, right up there with Anderson Silva. But I don't know. How do you guys feel? Izzy was winning from seems like all accounts. He was winning. He was up 3-1 in the fight before being KO'd in the 5th round. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think they should have a rematch? Which it sounds like I'm pretty sure he'll get a rematch. But how do y'all feel about that?
Kind of got a rematch this in the UFC just so he can at least get a shot back at his title, just to be fair. But sometimes you run into just your match. I've seen a lot of guys in the UFC just run into people they just is they match,
Mm-hmm.
I watched Orton run into, Ken Shamrock and him. Ken Shamrock kept thinking he can beat Orton up, and Orton,
Alex Pereira is big. Not to cut you off, he's a big
he's
dude,
huge,
bro.
He's huge.
He is a big dude.
And the fact that Izzy hangs with him like that is nuts, because he's a striker, but he doesn't really have a whole lot of body,
Right.
So, but this was a wild fight. If anybody watched this fight, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This was a crazy fight. It was intense the whole time. It was crazy. It ended on strikes. I thought it would, but man, I think they run it back though. It was a great fight.
And that's how you feel about it. How do you feel about it, yeah?
Oh man, I ain't heavy into the fight joint, but I was watching it, man, before I had to dip and go downtown. I went out. And I ended up missing. My man hit me too, like, oh man, no boy won. I'm like, oh wow. But
Shout
yeah.
out downtown, man.
Yeah, man. I went out, man, had a friend in town, man. We kicked it. But
Early.
yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I was actually waiting to see this fight though. I was waiting a couple weeks, you know what I'm saying? It's only a few fights that I see and I think is interesting. So I seen the storyline, you know what I'm saying? I knew everything that was going on. I thought it was just one though. I didn't know he beat him twice.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was just one time he beat him. So it was interesting, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, at the same point in time, though, I ain't see the end, so, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to give a full, you know what I'm saying, like analysis of the shit. But as far as a motherfucking rematch though, if Izzy a fighter, man, why not? You know what I'm saying? If you think you can beat him, man, it's like a demon. You know what I'm saying? You go a hill, you try to conquer that. It's a, you know what I'm saying? It's a goal. You know what I'm saying? So you keep setting them, and you know what I'm saying? If you think he got a real shot at doing it, I would. I wouldn't want to go out like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, from all accounts, when I heard Izzy, it sound like Izzy said he definitely wants to fight him.
Y'all think he got a shot?
I absolutely do, because I mean, from what I saw watching the fight, Izzy was winning that fight 3 rounds to 1, and it's the same thing with Usman. It's crazy how Usman lost his belt the same way. He was pretty much dominating that fight up until the very last minute, and I think it's one of them things to where Izzy's too good of a fighter to where you're not gonna beat him 4 times in a row, because he really didn't beat him this time. I feel like Izzy more or less beat himself. You know, I mean, but that's just, no shout out to Alex Pereira, man. Man, he come politic with us, man. Like, definitely a fan. Dude, a dog, man, but he's just a big dude, man. I think I was reading somewhere he might be 220 walking around, and he's fighting at 185. And you got to understand, they weigh in the day before, so there's no telling how big he is coming into that ring. You know, so I mean that makes a big difference, man. But shout out to Alex Pereira. I would love to see a rematch.
Yeah, rematch.
Rematch.
Got to.
I'm that type of motherfucker. Yeah, let's see it again.
Yeah, run that shit back, man. Run that shit back. Man, one thing I don't know if they should run it back. The Brooklyn Nets. They seem to be in shambles right now. I was really excited for this team, especially when they had got Ben Simmons. He seems to, I don't know, he seems to be coming around. He had a really good game last game. But what do you guys think about Brooklyn? Do you think they should keep this team together? Kyrie's supposed to be coming back Sunday. It sounds like, I'm not going to say that. But yeah, it sounds like Kyrie's going to be coming back Sunday. How do you guys feel about Brooklyn?
Man, they gotta run it back, man. I'm gonna say the same thing I've been saying since this summer. They ain't showed us nothing yet. They ain't had no playoff run yet. With them dudes, they main guys on the floor, they have yet to have one playoff run. It's been like 3 years. Like, nah, man, we want to see it. That's first of all. Second, that's selfishly as a consumer just watching the game. But then that team is gonna be messed up, man. If you get the trading KD off that team is gonna start going down to the point where they're not gonna be good, man. Your star player, I don't know if y'all are watching these teams with Steph Curry, the older stars, LeBron James, these older teams, these guys spearheaded by the older guys. If you ain't incorporating them young boys in there, they getting ran off the floor. So Kyrie is a nice talent and all, but he hurt most of the time, and this dude is getting older. If you trade KD off that team, this team is probably gonna be trash. Other guys gonna mess around and start leaving and try to find. Seth Curry is the guy that's gonna try to find a championship team. He's that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Let's just call it what it is. Then you're gonna have some other guys gonna follow suit too. That team, if you start trading people now, that team is gonna be whacked for at least another 5-6 years. Just see what we got. I don't know why they so scared to, and they always thinking about, you know what I'm saying, blowing it up or whatever. No, y'all need to see what y'all got on the floor. Forget all of this shit off the floor. What's going to happen on the floor if y'all actually play the games? Because if you play the games, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, last I checked, are pretty good at making shots. I like their new coach. He got some of those other dudes stepping up a little bit. If you can add Kyrie into that, and maybe find some defense from somewhere, I don't know, off the street. But if you can do those things, then I'm just saying, seriously, they defense still whack. But like same point in time, those are big shot takers, big shot makers, and you put them in a playoff scenario against anybody, that they should be one of the favorites against damn near anybody, unless you're saying against Boston, the eventual champ. Boston is the best team in the league to me right now. But
Boston's playing great ball right now. They're playing great ball right now. How you feel about Brooklyn, man?
Blow them up. Blow the whole team up, blow the stadium up, blow the coach up, blow everything up, blow them up. Only reason I say that, I feel what you're saying, B. I just don't think there's no trust in that locker room. There's no chemistry. There's nothing. They got 2 great players, and that's it. We don't know when Kyrie coming back because we don't know what's going on with his situation that I clearly don't want to talk about no more. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know when he's going to be available. And the best ability is availability. And he hasn't been available in a while. So right now we have a very disgruntled KD running a very inexperienced team. This season is going to drive him nuts because he's going to want everybody to step up, and there's nobody to step up because there's no talent there to step up. As much as I want this old team to do better, it won't. Blow it up, get that coach some new pieces, do exactly what the Jazz, do exactly what the Cleveland Cavaliers are doing, and get some young fellas in there that want to be a Brooklyn Net. KD doesn't show that he wants to be a Brooklyn Net. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. He's disgruntled. Every time I look up, he's saying something about the locker room, about people, about a head coach, about...
Where is he going to go if he leave?
Somewhere to be happy. I know that. Somewhere he want to hoop for. That's a great question. I don't know. Him and Kyrie, they both got to go, but I know whoever takes them, they're going to have to pay a hefty price. And I know there's a few teams that will be available, Sacramento, the Clippers, and other teams up there who could possibly make a run for some places. Hell, if Murray doesn't bounce back, he might be an option. Kyrie might be an option to go out there and service them. I'm just saying, I don't think the chemistry is there, and the number one thing you need to make a playoff push is chemistry. Without that, you just guys on the floor, a bunch of talent, and we seen what that product got us last year out of them. A swept.
Shit, okay. I see you talking that shit.
You can get Kyrie Irving for anything. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You can trade Lonzo Ball for that nigga right now. I feel like neither one of them playing.
But the Bulls could use a talent like that right now. That's what I'm saying. I feel like there's a handful of teams that might be a Kyrie Irving away from making a push they need, and there's probably 20 teams that are a KD away from building around something they need to go forward with. And if that's the case, then get this man on his way. Stop tormenting this man in Brooklyn. Get them. He don't want to be there. He doesn't want to be there. Does KD give you any inkling that he wants to be in Brooklyn, that he's going to continue a career there? Anything?
His last week went kind of smooth with the new coach.
Kind of smooth, but that's not sustainable, I don't think. As soon as they start losing some more games, and he gonna start looking at that coach goofy as hell, and he gonna be looking back with no answers, because one of them people got a ring, and it ain't the coach. So he has the right to question what he's doing, because you might be inexperienced. Get him around somebody who he can look over and get some confidence from. You can't draw no confidence from this coach right now, nor the team. It's dysfunctional.
So you say keep it flowing.
I want to see
you said blow it up.
Blow it up.
I think if it was up to me personally, there was a couple scenarios out there I was looking at. One of them was it didn't sound terrible. It was actually KD to the Kings.
I was thinking about that.
That wouldn't be terrible.
They have pieces to work around. KD can work with that.
You would put him, Sabonis, and De'Aaron Fox together.
You would think you would have to give up at least one of them with some other motherfuckers to get KD.
Well, they got prime picks.
They just
got, the Kings
we
talking about. They get the first round every year.
They just got Keegan Murray, who is a pretty good kid out of Iowa. Who was the number 4 pick.
And they got money to blow.
If you can keep that core around KD, that might be something to work with.
But
that coach out there, Mike Wilson, doing all that.
But what I personally thought would be the best scenario would be, I think it's time to break up this Nets team. I think it's just an experiment that just didn't work. And I'm always the type of person, if I was a GM or owner, I would like to be ahead. I kind of like how the Patriots are, where they're kind of almost like a year or two ahead before things get too bad. Like, so I'm looking at, okay, if we keep these guys together, right, and say they all play well together, still, what's the chances of them actually beating Milwaukee in a 7-game series?
The Celtics.
What's really the chances, you know what I'm saying, of them beating a Boston Celtics in a 7-game series, even at, full strength? So what I thought would be the best scenario would be KD back to the Warriors. It had to bury his ego, but you give up KD, Seth Curry will go to the Warriors. And the Warriors will get the Nets will get Draymond, Kuminga, James Wiseman, Baldwin Jr., who actually played for Milwaukee in college, who was a 5-star recruit
Nice.
coming out of high school, who's really I think could be a stud at the next level, and also 2 first-round picks. That's what I think will be the best scenario. Now, as far as Kyrie goes, I would trade Kyrie for Westbrook straight up.
I don't think Kyrie fits in the Lakers situation no more. After LeBron made them comments, I don't think he can go there successfully. I see Kyrie going to Miami and becoming, that's what he is. Send Kyrie to Miami for any which you ever got. Kyrie to Miami.
He will never play a game and be hurt in practice. They do 2-a-days. That trade doesn't work, motherfucking. There's no way Draymond Green is damn near a straight up head up trade for KD. I mean for KD.
But it's Draymond,
Don't
Kuminga,
forget those.
Kuminga.
Wiseman is in the G League, bro.
Right.
He's in the G League right now.
Right. But he's still super young. He's still
He got
super
to
young. Kuminga can definitely turn out to be a good player. Wiseman has a ceiling. Baldwin Jr., I don't know if you've ever seen him play.
They could use
that
those pieces.
kid is nice.
That
and
new
then
coach
you're
can
looking
utilize
at
that
2
pieces.
first-round picks for KD because I way up. But let me finish breaking it down. Then you look at I would give up Kyrie for Westbrook. Westbrook has always thrived on teams where he's the man. Even when you look at Houston, when you look at Washington, he's always thrived where you put him around young players. So I would give up Kyrie, send him to LA. Him and LeBron, they've proven they can play well. LA needs shooters. You get one of the best to ever do it. And then with Ben Simmons, I would leave Ben Simmons there. Now, I would do all of this. Right now, they're already one of the worst teams in the league, in my opinion. They're probably in the last 10 best teams in the league, in my opinion, when you look at the Nets. I would tank this year. You still have Westbrook to where you're still going to have some excitement. So people are still going to be in the seats. You're going to have Ben Simmons doing his thing. And I would go after Victor Wembanyama. If you don't get Wembanyama, say you get the number 2 pick, you still get Scoot Henderson. Westbrook will be gone next year because you only get him on a 1-year deal. And say you bring in Scoot Henderson or you bring in Wembanyama. Wembanyama, I think, will be a great fit with Ben Simmons because now you got two defensive dogs. I think by the end of the year, you'll see more Philadelphia Ben Simmons come
Remember
back.
how we was talking about track record earlier with Charles Barkley and all that? Let's check the track record of the Nets GM. One of the last great moves they made. Please don't tell me KD and Kyrie because them niggas just decided to come there and fight the Knicks.
No,
Bring it back in. Aldridge and try to solidify the big man in there. They had to go and fight and get a big man.
Them niggas ain't capable of making all the moves you motherfuckers said.
If
If they tried to do that, they'll fuck it up. They will never pull off everything you just said. Not all those things, not in a quick turnaround to be competitive immediately again. This will never happen. It will never happen that swiftly. Those ain't the dudes. They ain't the shakers and movers. They ain't on the phone and whatever. No, they didn't. KD and Kyrie decided. Kyrie decided to go there and told KD to come with him and fuck the Knicks. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That general manager had zero to do with that. That general manager, all he did to me, the best move he did was maybe keep Joe and motherfucking go out and get Seth. That's the best shit he did. Because you need shooters. You need shooters to space the floor around dudes. I'm big on need shooters.
Yeah,
he definitely should have been in LA. He definitely should have been in LA. But no,
I mean, that would be my scenario if I was the Nets.
I mean,
that's
if
what
they
I would
can
do.
pull off any basketball maneuvers that make them competitive again immediately for getting rid of them, not like a 2-year turnaround, if they can be competitive getting rid of them the same year, if that's what y'all want to get from under, their business. They can do whatever they want to do with their employees, and that's fine with me.
I
But
mean,
as long as they still winning some games,
It's 3-2-1. They should blow up though.
Yeah, I would.
I don't think. And I keep this wholehearted with all due respect. I don't think the current roster they have right now is going to do anything in a playoff right now. Given how well the 76ers are kind of sticking in things, how the Bucks are looking, how the Celtics are looking, how the Bulls are sticking, how the Cleveland Cavaliers, I don't see them getting away in there like that.
I feel like
even
that's
with
what
that.
y'all underestimate now. I feel like they can win the championship this year if they got the hell out of their ass and the GM actually did his job and put a few more right pieces around them.
They got the weapons, but they're not a unit.
You know what I think of when I think of the playoff? I don't think of the blowout games. I think of the close games. I think of the game. Then I think of those people who want to take a shot and who actually will make a shot in those last 2-3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And I'll see two of them on the Brooklyn team. When I look at Philly, James Harden is iffy to be that second guy. They say I forgot gotta be Maxey. I don't know. When I look at Milwaukee, they gotta run a good play. You gotta run a good play because playoff time they zero in on this motherfucker Giannis, and it ain't gonna be so easy just running into a million motherfucking bodies in the crunch time on good teams.
The difference is if that Brooklyn team makes it, only two of those guys got real deep playoff experience. All the rest are in pieces at the in and out the rotations. One of the biggest thing about Brooklyn is they have a team full of ex-injured people. Everybody that's on that Brooklyn team has battled injuries throughout a majority of their careers. A majority, not part, a majority. And even if this team was fit enough to make it there, I don't think they're durable enough as a team because their bench is withered, okay? So who comes in at these big times after these guys have to put up these 40 and 50 point games and then they got to go play back, they got to play LA a day from now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it is. They don't have a durable enough team. These niggas is hurt.
The trick to being one of these big market teams like this and having big stars like this is that people want to come play with them. If these motherfuckers get their head off their ass, play some ball. Even if they still losing some games, but they showing that they can win, and the motherfuckers start seeing, all they need is me. I'm the missing piece. All they need is me. You're gonna get people that feel that way. They can get some help.
And I get that, but when you get a comment like this coming from Durant, when he comes in and says, "Look at our starting lineup: Edmund Sumners, Royce O'Neal, Joey Harris, Claxton, and me. It's not disrespect, but what are you expecting from this group? You expect us to win because I'm out there. How do I play next to you? And you just drug me under the bus with that. How do I play next to you? How do I look and be like, look, we finna go to the playoffs? That's tough.
Nah, you be a professional because the very next game, Royce O'Neal went out and had a triple double.
He did.
So I mean,
He did. But you is dragging me a little though, bro. Come on.
He was definitely being. I mean, he was being truthful. I mean, he definitely probably shouldn't have said it in public,
But that's again, you interviewing a man after
Exactly.
Sometimes you do that, and you know how I feel about that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but talking about going from one, I feel like horrible run organization to one that's been ran stellar. 49ers. We're talking about Super Bowl picks, sneaker, dark horse Super Bowl contenders, and I went with the 49ers. I think the 49ers right now, they're 5-4 right now, and I see them end up going 10-6. They're at the Cardinals, Saints, at home against the Saints, at home against the Dolphins, at home against the Bucks, at the Seahawks, at home Washington, and again, away at the Las Vegas to the Raiders. So I got them beating the Cards, Saints. I got them losing back-to-back to the Dolphins and Bucks. Seahawks, I got them beating. I got them beating Washington, and I got them beating the Las Vegas Raiders to close out the season. They'll finish out the season 10-6. I think Jimmy Garoppolo, man, as much as a lot of people I call him a game manager, that team seems to love him for whatever reason. They absolutely love Jimmy. And I mean, and he
made me a fan.
I mean, all he simply does is win.
He do, and he catch a lot of slack.
He
man.
catch a lot.
You think he out here losing these games?
Yeah, he catch. All he does is go out there and win.
Yeah.
And I feel like that San Francisco team, we see year after year, we're seeing like they get better as the season goes on, and they're getting healthy again too. And when you talk about having Debo and then McCaffrey in the playoffs, That's gonna be tough, man. Then they got some other stud wide receivers, some young
Defense.
kids there. Then on defense, no one talks about Fred Warner.
Right.
Probably the best
Also-
middle linebacker in football between him and Roquan.
Yeah.
But he actually, I feel like he's better because
Parsons.
he's better in coverage. Well, he put Parsons. I put Parsons and Aaron Donald's. They're separate categories. You
Yeah,
can
but-
really put them anywhere.
Yeah.
You can put
Yeah,
them
but
anywhere.
Parsons, he's just better at hunting that ball, so he's better coming out that middle linebacker because he can hunt that ball. You can't stop him. That's how I watched him blow up a whole Bears offensive line, even when they was blocking good, just blowing them up. And I watched him blow up. He's just better at coming out from that inside linebacker and shooting
He's
off
a
it.
freak, man.
He's
You know,
nasty.
I also been thinking I ain't never played neither one of these mother effers in Madden before.
Oh
I
man.
don't know how that happened.
We'll figure that out soon.
So we'll figure it out.
That happened though.
Yeah, but I got the 49ers, man. Y'all let us out there know who y'all think be our dark horse Super Bowl pick, but that's why I went with the 49ers.
I kind
Who
of
wanna
cheated
go?
out. I did one for the AFC and the AFC.
I kind of did that too.
So
Okay.
who could slide in? I think if anybody was to slide in and sneak a Snoop Bowl in this year, I think it'd be the Dolphins for the AFC because I
I
still
was
think
thinking about the
I still think they at any given time they can just take off and they can put up big numbers, and that's what's scary when you can put up big numbers and you can't get stopped. And sometimes offenses get frustrated and they start throwing that deep ball and they start messing up and start throwing interceptions, and you just stay consistent. And when they get going, they're kind of hard to stop. So
somebody else who just went to it.
Right.
What he's 7-0 or something like that?
He's looking good, man. He's looking good. And then for my NFC, I figure somebody, and this is going off just straight experience, Seahawks. I feel like
Wow.
they could slide in. There's some potential for them to slide in, but I don't underestimate what Geno Smith can do. He has a nice little receiving core. They have a steady to decent running back game. But I think Pete Carroll can finagle some calls in there and get them going. I've seen what he can do with an experienced quarterback. Other than Geno and other than Wilson, you've seen a couple other guys get thrown in there and still be serviceable. So I kind of think it's a system. So I think if you can sneak them in there, there'll be somebody who can kind of like the Eagles. When nobody thought the Eagles was going to do nothing that one year, and they slid in just kind of like the Seahawks did, just like this, under the radar, and then somebody just boom out the middle. Just couldn't stop him. So those are my two teams, I think.
I don't know.
I ain't really have an AFC, NFC. I had two honorable mentions because I couldn't really think of it. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, at the times, I had like three teams I was thinking about, but then the two eliminated themselves: Miami and the Titans.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Titans ain't gonna be able to score enough points to keep up with
Never
a
can.
well-oiled team,
Never
like
can.
the Buffalo Bills or the Chiefs, and that means a lot. To be able to score them points, you gotta be able to score points. Everybody knows, you know what I'm saying, whoever got the most points win. But it's a defensive struggle too. But who can manufacture the motherfucker? And that's why I picked the Titans though, kind of in my mind, because they're a good ass red zone team. They don't get
One
enough
of the
credit
best.
for scoring the goddamn the best. Number one this year, number 5 last year,
and
number
fourth
2
and
the year
third
before that,
conversions.
number 1 the year before that.
Mm.
Them motherfuckers, they smash the shit in the red zone. And you on the team, when they get cold, that kind of work in motherfuckers' favor. So that's why I kind of like them, but they ain't gonna score enough points. Patrick Mahomes
It's always been
gonna
their
leave
issue.
niggas out.
It's always been their issue.
You know what I'm saying?
You can run the ball so many
Real
times,
shit.
but what happens when you stack the box?
Yep.
And Tannehill has to throw.
Yep.
I told him last year, if the Titans were going to lose, it was going to have to be by interception from Tannehill. If you go back, that's exactly how they lost.
Yep.
It's how they lose every time. It's how they lose every time.
Yeah, I really said
It's
shit.
it's not that Tannehill's a bad quarterback, but he doesn't really throw a deep ball very well, and he suffers sometimes with accuracy across slots.
He's not consistent with his
Slants, I
accuracy.
should say.
He's accurate sometimes.
Right.
But
The games he's on, he's on.
consistent enough.
But he can't scramble.
The games he's on, he's off.
He can't really
That's
scramble.
why you can predict. That's why you can make that prediction. Because he's still gonna fuck up at some point in time.
Right. It's
Yeah,
bound to
yeah,
happen.
real,
It's
yeah.
bound to happen. But the
What
fact
if
that he
it's
can't really do
Russell
nothing
Wilson?
outside the box and stuff like that, that kind of limits his game. And that's why I go into the dynamic today's game of quarterback is somebody who can expand outside that box and still create. And that's where he kind of suffers. Once that run game done, their sending still out. So he can't move. Once he's in the house, he can't. Right. So
mention they told. Oh, but could actually can sneak up in that bitch. My actual pick, the Vikings. You know what I'm saying? They showed me enough. I thought they was gonna win the division. I picked them to win the division early this year by default.
I did too.
I picked it by default. I knew the Packers was gonna be weak this year, and I just wanted to laugh at them every game.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did. I seen it. I promise you that I did. I couldn't wait for this moment. I really couldn't. But same point in time, yeah, man.
Did they win their last game?
The Packers?
No.
Hell no. They played the Titans the other day.
Man.
You know they lost that shit. And all the Vikings keep doing is winning, man. So they actually like solidifying their spot to me, man. I like see the growth offensively with them. And to me, that's what it takes. The defense is already kind of okay, but when that offense can take a couple steps forward, that's playoff shit. And Kirk Cousins, he been in the playoff with this team and everything. He wanted to yell in that camera, you know what I'm saying? He wanted after the game. He wanted to get fired up. He wanted, you know what I'm saying? I actually got more irrational confidence in this motherfucker than I should, but same point in time, I actually can see this motherfucker winning the Super Bowl one day. On the right team, I really can. Or at least going to the Super Bowl.
Kirk Cousins will fail you.
Yeah, he has.
Kirk Cousins will fail you every time.
Every year. He's
Kirk Cousins.
But same
Kirk
point in
Cousins
time,
is a
though.
great regular season quarterback. Always will be. But
It
when
ain't
it
gotta
comes to
be
the
all
big
about him.
moments, I can't see him going over the edge. Whenever you need really him, I mean, put it like
You can
this.
say that about Garoppolo. You can say that about a lot of people.
That's true.
But just because you haven't done it yet, don't mean you ain't about to do it.
Well,
You said
the
about
times that
Stafford.
you've had, put it like this. A lot of these guys have had opportunities
Ample
opportunities to
sample
do all
size.
this,
Yeah.
and then some have just come through and succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, look what happened to Nick Foles. He was given an opportunity. He won it all.
It ain't even whatever like that though. Okay, Russell Wilson won early. He ain't won shit yet since.
Right. And we comment
Geno
about him
was-
all the time.
Geno was whack. Look at Geno now.
I know.
Like, so
and
it's kinda
I
hard
give
to
I give that
win.
case for like cats like Kurt
You
Warner.
can still win.
You know,
but-
Kurt Warner. He
Yeah.
won late, but look at all weapons he had at that time. He was good. He was blessed in a great system, and then had some great weapons. Long story short, if you can get to a good system with some great weapons, you can be successful. But a lot of these
So
cats,
is that.
this guy, he has it. But if they don't win this year, it has to be he's the common denominator. They have
I
great
don't know. What if
receivers.
he have a good ass game? And some other
But
shit
it
happen.
ain't for the lack of receivers. They have great receivers. They have a great running back, and the defense can get turnovers.
Yeah.
So if they don't win this year, it's solely on him.
It depends on how the games play out. Still,
Yeah, that's true.
if he put up 40, but the defense give up 47,
I ain't seen it
I
yet.
don't think that's his fault. I'm just saying that you talking about the past. I'm talking about this shit when it happened.
He barely snuck through that last game.
Yeah, we don't
They
see
barely
that.
snuck through that last game, and he was
We don't
throwing
see
plenty. And he was throwing plenty
This
picks.
is- this
he was
is
throwing
why-
plenty picks.
Look at who they gotta play. This is what matters. Look at who you gotta play. You get to the playoff, the hardest team you have to play is the Eagles.
That's the nemesis.
But what if somebody beat them before? That's why we was talking about earlier when we were talking about going through two other teams. I'm like, man, but what if you only have to go through one? What if one team knock another one out? Because that's how that shit be going a lot of times.
What you talking about? Like, what if they had to see like the Cowboys or something like wild
See
like
what
that?
I'm saying?
I,
The Vikings can beat the Cowboys.
but like I said, at the end, they'll still probably have to run back into that Eagles team because I don't see they'll have to run into
we
some
don't know
decent
that for
competition.
sure.
That's right.
We don't know for sure that Eagle team gonna be there. They look good now. It's the regular season.
Can you see that Viking team beating the Buccaneers?
Yes, I can.
I can't see
Because
that.
the Bucks have not been scoring enough points for me this year. I understand the divorce is finalized. So that was different. That was a different time Brady last week, boy. That was a different time last week. But he was out trying to catch the ball and look stupid, but he tried. Yeah, that was a different time last week. But,
So could
he
you
tried.
see this Vikings team beating the Niners?
Whoo-wee. Actually, yeah, because the Niners are run heavy, and if they get caught behind anyway, which Minnesota can do, I feel like Minnesota can make enough plays in the fourth on two different drives to get 3 points to win that game. Yep. Because no matter how strong a team the 49ers are, they aren't high-powered. Offensively, they aren't that potent. They can do whatever the fuck they want each individual play, but they aren't like the biggest home run hitters. And like consistent home run hitters. They aren't that. That type of team, you know what I'm saying, is the type of team that would scare me if I were a Viking fan. a team that
Buffalo.
can just outduel us point wise. Because if we can hang in any game, I feel like we confident enough offensively where we at the end of the game we know something that might work. You know what I'm saying? That we be confident in that we can run. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Vikings are actually finally there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how it's gonna play out.
I think Kirk Cousins almost cost them the game, but kept them in the game once again. And if it wasn't for the Vikings defense doing what the Vikings defense are normally good at, and that's stopping the run and jamming up the box, then they lose that game. And Kirk Cousins
run and jamming up the box against the 49ers. Continue.
Yep, no, they can do that, and they're good at doing that. But they also have Christian McCaffrey, who's the best at getting to the outside, and that's what they're not good at.
And Debo.
Yep, and they're not good at covering that outside. I was just about to say that. When you get to that outside, what they call outside the numbers, they're not good at covering that, and that's what Christian McCaffrey and Debo does well. So, going back on that though, but Cousins almost cost them that game because he's throwing interceptions. And he kept throwing interceptions. But like I said, I feel like, once again, the defense, with the Vikings playing the good defense that they're doing, you know what I'm saying, and jamming that middle, they were able to get the ball back at the line and score. Otherwise, Kirk Cousins throws that game off for him. Good team. I think they move on from Kurt. I think Kurt's he's a great quarterback, but I think they have pieces. They need other pieces to extend a little bit of plays to make them more dynamic. You get them a more dynamic quarterback, somebody can make plays outside that. Maybe when that box collapses, run. You know what I'm saying? Get him a couple yards on there, which he doesn't do that well.
Who would that quarterback be? Because you can't think long shot. Let me get Lamar Jackson. You got to think, if he choose not to come here, what are the other options or some shit? Like, because is that guy going to be better than what Kirk Cousins is doing? Because if you falling off, taking any step back from where the hell y'all was at, like at least playoff team,
So,
winning in the division,
with this
if
being
this guy
said,
ain't doing that, then it's like, what
did
the
Jimmy
fuck
G
we
get
doing?
locked into a long term?
And,
Or is he on a
Lord
one-year
knows,
contract?
How the hell did that even happen though? Like,
I think they got him on a 2 year.
So there's options across the board. Who says Russ stays in Denver? Who I'm just
you
saying.
make it sound like somebody want Russ. Who would want this guy?
Somebody who wants a mobile quarterback who can get to the receivers, and Russ has a history of doing that. Because
I
now
have zero
but
confidence
now
in
you
Russ.
run outside. Now everybody's a weapon, is what I'm saying. Sometimes with Kirk Cousins, he's such a pocket passer that everybody tees off. You send all them blitzes on her, he doesn't get out. Russ recognizes this stuff, gets out that box, and makes a play. Justin Jefferson scores every time. That's the dynamic. He doesn't. I mean, who says? I'm just saying we don't know what they might want to do. But I'm saying that they want to go for it. I think that's the move.
I know one thing wants to move. NFL picks for the week. And it's crazy we talk about Cowboys and Vikings because Cowboys and Vikings actually play this week.
Yeah.
And I got the Vikings winning 28-27 over the Cowboys. Then I took the upset game of the week, Chargers-Chiefs. I got Chargers beating the Chiefs 24-21.
Damn.
Yeah, I think Chargers are incredibly talented, man. I mean, they have to
get
win.
Keenan Allen back this week, not last week. I thought I was gonna do last week.
Yeah, you get Keenan Allen back. They said they got a ton of talent over there, and I think one thing I acknowledge with the Chiefs is they'll have some of those games, 2, 3, maybe sometimes 4 or 5 games a year, to where Patrick Mahomes is just kind of not himself. Well, he'll just have a streak of where he'll just kind of let the ball go and kind of then Andy Reid kind of has to reel him back in before playoffs come around and they start to get hot. And so I think this will be one of those games. I think the Chargers beat them just because they have so much talent. It'll be one of them things where we talk about Justin Herbert against Patrick Mahomes from years to come. This will be one of the games where Justin Herbert will get him. So it'll be close, but 24-21 Chargers. And then the final game of the week, I got to go with the Bears, man. Bears-Falcons. Bears 33-14. The Falcons have the worst defense in the league, and I believe they have the worst offense in the league. If I'm Chicago, I would take a very good chance of looking at that tight end that they have, Kyle Pitts. I would have no problems giving up a 3rd-round pick for that kid next year. Kyle Pitts is an absolute stud. He is just in
He's trying to take
purgatory
their
right
one
now.
player that they do got.
Yeah, man, we'll get y'all third round pick for him.
Oh,
In NFL,
man. 2 rounds, shit, a couple sevens.
nah, in football, they give up players for shit. I'm like, oh wow, okay. But yeah, that's my picks for the week, man. 3 picks for the week.
Shoot, I got the Commanders beating the Texans. I think the Commanders actually get their stuff together this week. The Texans have a very impressive run game, but that's about
Yes.
it.
They compare him to Marshawn Lynch.
He's nice.
Young Marshawn Lynch.
Their quarterback is young but unproven. He can throw that ball, but it has to be some gas. He kind of lets it go. I can see that getting picked off. As much as I know about the Commanders, I mean, they can be fooled, but that's going to take a lot to fool some of them veteran
They
players on
play
that
hard
defense.
though. They play hard.
I got the Bills beating the Browns. I mean, as hard as the Browns may play, I don't think they can compete with the Bills offensively and stop them. And then I have Raiders over the Broncos. I think the Raiders.
Oh, wow.
I think the Raiders actually get their stuff together this week and actually utilize some of that offensive weapons that they have over there because they have a lot
They
of.
got talent. But
they have
they've had injuries too.
They did.
Let's
They
be
have.
fair. They've had injuries.
They have a lot of weapons across the board. But I think Adams has a good week against that soft Broncos defense. The Broncos do have some dogs at corner, but Devontae is a veteran receiver, and he knows how to break that apart with ease. And I think if Carr gets on his game this week, he hits him a lot.
I like that.
Well, shit, man. I try to pick the easiest games possible. My heart is not on the line with these picks. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying?
They're not on the line.
Hey, man, I got the Eagles over the Colts.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying? That seemed like that should happen.
yeah,
That seemed like that should happen. I got the Ravens over the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
That seemed like this is what I say about my picks. Even if I'm wrong, I probably should have been right. So I'm gonna go ahead I'm picking the best team. I'm picking the best team. Even if the better team lose, then oh well, but I'm picking the better team.
Right.
The Ravens are better than the Carolina Panthers.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
That's not a dispute.
That's what I'm saying.
It was better even when they had McCaffrey.
Yeah, even had done, they was better. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I picked the Eagles over the Colts because they just supposed to be a better damn team. Goddamn. The Bengals over the Steelers, man, is my last pick. You know what I'm saying? I'll never trust the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? But at the same point in time, they hot garbage, man. So there's no way I'm picking them to win a football game.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy,
basically
man.
75% of the NFL.
They did all they win already.
You said what?
The Steelers, they did all they win already.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I feel bad for Mike Tomlin.
I mean, this is his first losing season.
Yeah.
It's not like he's had many of them.
Right.
That's true.
You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying?
That's
So,
true. That's true. That's true.
shit, yeah, I
Actually like him a lot.
Yeah, I love that. I'm a huge Mike Tomlin fan. But getting off Mike Tomlin, who's a defensive player, like we told y'all at the beginning at the top of the episode, man, we're gonna do our top 5 NFC offensive players, regardless of position. Y'all let us know y'all top 5 list too. If you want to pick top 5 offensive linemen, hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
But who wants to kick it off, man? Top 5 NFC offensive players.
I'm gonna go ahead and kick it on off if I can.
Okay,
man.
shit.
Because
Kick it off. Kick it off.
I don't want y'all stealing my people, man.
Oh, wow.
I got some very stealable cats on this list. You know
Go
what I'm saying?
ahead. Go ahead.
Alright, I feel like Saquon Barkley.
Hold on. Is this in order?
Or like 1 to 5?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't even order.
Okay. That's cool.
It's just, you know what I'm saying?
That's cool. Go
I
ahead.
had Saquon Barkley, Justin Jefferson. I fucked with Debo Sanders, man. I fucked with Debo.
Okay.
I fucked with Kamara.
Oh.
And I fucked with, I like CeeDee Lamb, man. I just feel like niggas ain't getting on the ball right now. Maybe Cooper Rush is a better option than quarterback. I hate to say all that. But
You're not the first person. I've heard a few analysts say that.
yeah, it was actually running more like a well-oiled machine at that time. Like, niggas ain't getting that ball on time. I'm just saying,
Damn.
man. I used to throw the shit out the football, man. Y'all ain't know that about me. I threw the shit out the
I know that.
football for about 4 or 5 years, man. A whole bunch of people can vouch for this
Yeah.
shit back in the crib, just playing around. But yeah, I played like a lot. And I threw that football every time.
Big arm bills,
back
that's what
every
they call
day.
them.
Dog. Them niggas ain't-
He was a lefty.
Dog.
He was a lefty.
They ain't getting that ball on time in Dallas.
Is that what it
They ain't
is?
getting that ball on time in Dallas, man. Look at it, man. Them niggas, man, they open too.
Oh,
They open.
shit.
I look at that shit.
Oh, shit. Dak, you want to come on here and talk about that, man? Rumor has it, man. CD be open, man. Come on here. How come holler at us, man? Top 5 offensive players heading down NFC.
Shit. Justin Jefferson, first and foremost. It'd be crazy not to have him up there. Jalen Hurts. I think, when he
I
get
like
to going.
that.
Yeah, he's a
He get to going.
I like that.
Cooper Kupp, because I still think he's an offensive threat. As long as you can catch him in stride, he can still make yards.
He
But
hurt
he's-
right now too. Didn't he?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Something
like,
about his Achilles.
he don't really be seeming that fast. He's just always just good routes, man. He just don't really.
He just always open.
Good routes.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of speed on good routes. McCaffrey, because I still feel like
I thought about that.
now that he can pass the ball a little bit, now he a threat. So, and then last and final, Justin Fields, because he's just a dog, man.
I knew.
You know I was gonna have Justin up there, man.
I was waiting to see it.
Man. Number 1 rushing quarterback in the league, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, Justin Fields. All right, top 5 offensive players. This is my list. No particular order out there. At number 5, I had to go with the wide receiver out of Minnesota, Justin Jefferson. Absolute dog, man. I think all said and done, within the next maybe two years or so, he could be the best wide receiver in football. When you look at, a lot of people don't consider Kirk Cousins to be an elite quarterback, and then something else a lot of people don't talk about is he plays with another really good wide receiver in Thielen,
Yep.
and he's still putting up these numbers.
And a good running back. And they still got a split between that.
I like Jamar Chase.
Chase is
I like both of them.
Chase
When we
is
say
nice.
best, I feel like those are the names that should be at the top of that conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
that could be up there. Or maybe
I mean, we
tier
can
up.
sprinkle in. We'll have another conversation about that. We'll sprinkle in
absolutely.
because there's some people really want to come up, that we ain't mentioning right now.
We
That's
actually
kinda
have
stand
a,
out.
Yeah, guys, I
top,
don't even
top
know.
25. Maybe do that.
That's
Top
cool. There's gonna be
25,
dudes I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So I
Absolutely.
wouldn't mind doing some of that research.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing what?
For
Straight up.
real. Number 4, I went with my man Justin Fields. I think
That's
when you,
easy.
I think when you look at what Justin Fields has been doing, you say the past, I say 5 weeks or so, 4 or 5 weeks, it's really promising. I think this is the time when you really start to see that sophomore maturation. And a lot of times when you see guys starting to go after that 6th or 7th week, starting to like really turn that game around, that's when normally you start to see that 3rd week that 3rd year they really start to explode, a la Josh Allen.
So he won't be out of the league in 3 years.
I don't think he will not be out there. That was my fault.
Man, you
I
said
said it.
that.
I
You said
did.
that.
I did say that. But hey,
I be remembering shit now.
yeah,
ain't just say anything.
hey, trust me. Hey,
Like an owl.
trust
Yeah,
me.
they
Trust
remember
me.
shit for real.
Trust me. I will be the first person to say I was absolutely wrong. I thought it wasn't more or less about him and his talent. It was more or less about It was more or less about the history of the Bears and running plays how we run them, and our management not putting pieces around him. Now, granted, they did put Claypool around him, and I would just have to say we've gotten really lucky and we've hit on some 1-year guys. But I think next year, when we put talent around him, get another high draft pick. Right now, we're looking at picking 6. They got us picking an offensive lineman out of Northwestern. I would totally be okay with that. But yeah, I mean, Justin Fields to see what he's doing with the pieces that he has around him. He basically has 3rd string and 4th string wide receivers, with the exception of Claypool. And I think Claypool is a solid 2. I don't think he's a number 1. I think he's a really good possession receiver, in my opinion. But yeah, I had to put him, man. When you look at what he can do as far as he's been accurate throwing the ball and running the ball, he's right. He's not Lamar Jackson, but when you look at top 5 players running quarterbacks, I would already put him up there all time. I think he's up there with Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson, Randall Cunningham.
That's hard.
He is right. He's right up there. Kyler Murray, like he's right
It's
up
kind of
there.
early to say that.
Just flat out. No, I'm just saying, just flat out
Just tell
running.
it. Just
Just
tell
flat,
it.
just
I'll
flat
tell
out running. Yeah, just flat out running.
I said you just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fields is
That's
gonna
three.
be. He's nice, man. He's nice. I was absolutely wrong about him. At 3, I had to go with my man, Aaron Rodgers. I understand 11 games he hasn't had over 300 yards, but I feel like we talking about teams that need a quarterback. Imagine if you put Aaron Rodgers on the Vikings.
Oh, they won a Super Bowl already.
I think Aaron Rodgers' biggest thing is his. I don't think it's that he can't play anymore. I think he's frustrated because he's kind of has that KD mentality where like, nigga, you see who the fuck I'm throwing to. Like, I understand I got the bag, but nigga, you see who I'm throwing to. So I think that does affect his game. But I think if you put him in a situation where you put him with some dogs, Aaron Rodgers is still one of the best players in the NFC. At number 2, I had to go with Nick Chubb. Does not get the credit he deserves, in my opinion. It's because he plays in Cleveland. They know what I'm talking about. But because he play in Cleveland, he don't get the proper respect he deserves. But Nick Chubb might be the best running
I
back in
thought they were
football.
an AFC team.
They sure is, ain't they?
Yeah.
My fault, y'all. I made a mistake. My fault, y'all. I'm gonna have to. We won't know what. We're gonna scratch Nick Chubb. We ain't gonna be able to edit that, but that's okay. We're gonna go right here to DeAndre Hopkins. I had to go with D-Hop. I understand he been hurt, but if you talking about a wide receiver, yeah, he a dog. He actually might be the best wide receiver in football.
Yeah.
And because if you look at the numbers he's amassed and you look at the quarterbacks that's been throwing to him, yeah, give me DeAndre
With a
Hopkins.
few drops.
With a few drops.
With just a
If the
few
Bears
drops.
could get him. Woo.
Oh man, that would be great.
Stop it.
Yeah, what are they doing with him?
Nothing. But I guess I need a 5th player. At number 5, I'm gonna have to go with Debo.
Debo.
I'm gonna have to go with Debo.
He is a weapon.
I think
That's why I
Debo
picked
is
him.
an absolute weapon.
Yeah.
I tried to pick players who were either exceptional at one thing or were multiple. And Debo's an absolute weapon. If I'm
It's
building a
crazy
team,
too much
how a year of time. Usually Metcalf would have been in this conversation, but right now he ain't got.
Who was Metcalf?
DJ Metcalf with the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh yeah,
DK.
Yeah.
Right. Remember, it'd be this time last year. We'd have to put him in the
Yeah,
conversation.
anything about dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They were comparing
Yeah.
the Megatron.
Right.
They were comparing the
Nothing from him.
Megatron.
That's what I'm saying. That's all.
They were comparing the Megatron 1 point. But yeah, man, I like them 5, man. We all pretty much had different players for the most part, man. But I like that. Y'all let us know what y'all top 5 is, man. And we been running through this show today, man. So far, I had a really good show, man. It's about that time. Wind it down. You already know what time it is. Can you please tell these people what time it is, B.I.?
Yes, sir, man. Trade yourself, man. It's that time.
Trade your motherfucking self. If you don't know what this is our final segment, man, of every episode. We end it with Trade Yourself. It's just basically a segment to where you pick somebody, or we're each going to pick somebody who's anybody in sports, or somebody might be somebody you work with, where they just, you don't know what, just jump out the goddamn window. Bitch, you need to trade yourself. Just trade your life. Turn your life around, motherfucker. So who we gonna go ahead and kick it off, yeah? Who need to trade themselves this week?
Oh man, I wish I had one of them violins that play a little slow music when somebody just talking. And they just got the little soft music playing behind it. It's a real sad story.
Shit.
But this is a real sad story. The NBA schedule makers, whoever the fuck is scheduling these goddamn games every night. I'll be watching all the I'll be on the little stream or whatever I'm streaming off of, and they'll show you all the games playing. I think it was the day before election day or election day. It was 0 games on.
Yo, zeros ain't for election day.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Then I heard the shit the next day, and I'm like, for real? That's a real reason to not play basketball, nigga?
For real.
Well, we gotta everybody get to the polls. No entertainment, nigga. What? Man, you gotta stop some other shit. You better stop one of the VH1 shows or something. You ain't never finna know how to Miami Heat playing or some shit, nigga. I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on? And then not even just that day. It was a couple other motherfucking times I look up. It's 1 or 2 games on. That shit happened at least 2 or 3 times this year already. Where it was like 2 games on the whole night. The whole night? The other night I looked up, it was 2 games on, but they was early games and it wasn't even no late game.
Facts. That's true.
Who the fuck is scheduling this shit?
True.
We don't even know, man.
I'm going, man, look, they gonna have to figure this out. I thought everybody was back from COVID. Shit. Fuck that, man. Fuck everybody back now, man. Get it right, man.
Hey.
Fuck that.
Hey, y'all heard it. We need more than 2 games a night.
Really?
You hear me? We need more than 2 games a night, NBA. Y'all gotta do better, man. We need to trade themselves, Endo.
Any reporter still asking these old athletes what they stand is on race, politics, religion, or anything that got anything to do with the hood or anything like that. These people is out of touch with these relations. These motherfuckers in the upper echelon of class, and y'all keep asking these people what they stands and views, and are surprised at the reactions and the responses you get, and find out that these brothers is Republicans because that's where the money flow, and all their friends that live with them on the corner of this cul-de-sac with mansions is all Republicans and vote for whoever, and he don't really care about black people in that manner because he moved out the hood at 17. That's when he got drafted in the NBA or NFL.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm just saying, stop asking these people and start having these motherfuckers stand up like they're the token black people and they speak for all the black people. Stop doing that. I'm sick of having these people coming on here and y'all thinking y'all get the voices of black people and stuff through these people, and they ain't been in touch with the hood since 17 and 18 years old. They don't even go back there. Stop asking Tiger Woods about his brothers and sisters that he ain't never met. I'm just saying, stop asking these people, but I'm just saying, be real, man. Stop doing that, y'all. Stop, man.
Yeah. Damn, who need to trade themselves, man? Who need to trade themselves this week? I think the Brooklyn Nets ownership, man. Y'all need to absolutely trade yourself, man. You guys already not playing well, and then you take one of the top players in the league off the team and basically treat him like a child for the most part, in my opinion. I think you guys have made some bad business decisions as far as like putting teams together, and I think you guys are already in a bad spot, and I think you guys made a lot worse than what it was. I think if you guys didn't blow it up, a lot of people probably wouldn't have saw a movie that you guys deemed as being something bad. I feel like that's something that could have been handled in-house. I don't think a suspension was worthy, so I'll have to go with the Brooklyn Nets ownership. I think you guys have much bigger problems than Kyrie and him tweeting some things. When you look at all the talent you guys have had, and then when you look at y'all record, I think a tweet should be one of the last things y'all should be worried about. But that's just my opinion. That's not saying that the tweet was right or wrong. But like I said, I think if you guys in the business of winning games, and I think that's something that could have been addressed with in-house. It could have been addressed with maybe him making an apology on the same platform that you guys suspended him for. But hey, that's my opinion. Don't mean anybody any harm, and yeah, man, y'all need to trade y'allself, man, for that. That was kind of some fuck shit. But hey, Kyrie is coming back tomorrow. Hope that brother, wish him well, man. Hope he keep doing his thing, man. Hope he can stay healthy, because that Brooklyn team does have a lot of talent, man. Ben Simmons mental health is absolutely real. He seems to be. Hopefully, he can turn it around and become the Ben Simmons that he was in Philly. So, but yeah, that thing that y'all pulled, man, I felt like that was kind of whack. That was kind of unnecessary, in my opinion. And for that, y'all need to trade y'all something. That's how I feel. Anything else, man? Anything else y'all want to talk about, man?
Free Brittany Griner.
Man,
that's the style, man. Don't let that get off y'all minds, man.
Real talk, bro.
Brett Favre did it.
Brett Favre did it.
Herschel Walker's still a naked mod in every concert he is.
Herschel Walker, naked mod.
Man.
He's
He's still a naked mod and at least in that 36 states, he's a naked mog. I don't give a fuck what it is.
Right on the back, Herschel Walker's still a naked mog. With 2 U's.
And then, what is oh, shit. That's it for me.
That's the rundown.
Free BG, man. That's real. I can't believe they still got that girl locked up, boy.
They just moved it too.
They know. They gotta shift her around.
They ain't gonna tell motherfuckers what she is either and shit.
And the U.S. gonna find out. They fuck around, send some drones that way and find out, man. Don't forget how the U.S. get down.
See how you can't find her. Shorty look like the Atom Smasher. How you can't find this girl?
You know what? Hey, Russia used to hide nuclear missiles. Don't question shit they can't hide, nigga. They've been hiding secret documents we've been trying to find since the 80s. Shit, we still looking in on there something they done did.
Fam, you couldn't pay me to live in Siberia. I was looking at a story about Siberia. It's so much fucking like land, bro. It's like unlike charted. And these niggas got bears over there, wolves, and it's cold as shit, bro. Like cold as shit, dog.
I ain't doing it.
Nah, you couldn't pay me to move to Siberia.
I mean, what for? What we doing all that for?
I mean,
You think what we doing all that?
No, man. Come on, man. What is this, J Bond movie? What I'm doing over here, man? I'm not visiting no place unless my plane go down while I'm heading to somewhere that I probably shouldn't be going. Cause my passport is not valid. So I'm not going that far. I
got a passport, and I don't need one.
I go to Hawaii back, man. That's about it, man. I ain't, man. Hell no, man.
I travel.
I know you
I
do.
travel at some other point in time. Right now, I ain't got time to be thinking about broken down palaces and shit. You ever see that movie? Broke Down Palace. 2 girls went overseas. I can't remember how they got juked. Yeah, they got juked something serious. They was in jail. They asked us a motherfucker.
Was they white girls?
Nobody else. Couldn't contact nobody. I'm like, I don't know about going nowhere. Then everybody disappeared in the Dominican Republic a couple years ago. They was like, and niggas was coming up missing and shit. You go down there on vacation, then you don't come back. Like, what the fuck?
I can't wait to go back out the country. I love it, bro. I love it, man. If y'all get a chance to go out the country, man, go out the country, man, and have different experiences. Got a chance to go to.
I be seeing the good pictures too.
Man,
the crib be everywhere. Nigga.
Oh man,
yeah, hungry motherfucker too. So you be eating a whole bunch of dope shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, hold on. This
I'll
is
tell you
amazing.
the best fried chicken I ever had was in Panama. Bullshit you not, bro. The best fried chicken. It was on a banana leaf too. The best fried chicken I ever had was in Panama.
Eating wings over
the
spot.
What's the second best place you know?
Sir Chicken, man. Chicago, 16th Street, man. You already know. It ain't there no more, man. But Sir Chicken, bro. They had the best chicken. Lady had some big ass boogers in her nose, but man, she out some chicken, bro.
Just killed that.
Y'all, hey, I ain't lying. Hey, y'all niggas know, man. Sir Chicken, man. 16th Street used to be right down the street from Elbows, West Side, man. I'm a K-Town baby, girl. Real talk. Then they had the gizzards too. They had the gizzards and fries. You get the gizzards and fries for it was like $3.95, and you get the motherfucking mild sauce on it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the gizzards, Sir Chicken, man. Sir Chicken, bro.
Sir Chicken.
Yeah, that's I know. So you can ask my mom. I don't know if she's watching right now for my 13th birthday. She say, what you want? Where you want to go for your birthday? You want to go to Red Lobster, Olive Garden, Matson's? Nah, I want to go to Sir Chicken. Would have got me a 10-piece wing from Sir Chicken and watch the Dream Team. That's what I did for my 13th birthday. Real talk, Sir Chicken, man, that's my spot.
Oh God, it take forever to eat a motherfucking gizzard.
Damn, bro, I'm done with y'all, nigga. You eat you a gizzard, nigga. You can watch a whole TV show. You know what I'm saying? Hey, just still be getting at it. So, eat some gizzards, nigga. Get you a piece of gizzards, nigga. Nigga, it take forever.
Oh,
Chewing on this shit, nigga.
I haven't had Gizzard to the Wild. I haven't had Gizzard to the Wild, but I used to. I ain't gonna lie, I used to when I was. A lot of chicks when I was a kid, man. A lot of shit I used to eat as a kid. Motherfucking hog head cheese.
Come on, man, chill out.
I ain't never had that. I had some shrimp this big though from across the street from
That's a prawn.
Pretty
That's a
Girl.
prawn.
Yeah, them was big as
Yeah, that's a
hell.
prawn.
dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
my girl bought some before. They're so big, you got a butterfly. Them bitches. is
So,
Yeah.
It's a prawn. Yeah, those are fire. Yeah, those are fire.
Can't eat too much of that shit though.
hell
No, it's not good for
The rest don't be fucked up.
But hey, we out of here, man. Old Heads episode 27. We will see y'all next week, man. Same time, man. 6:15 Saturday nights, man. Before y'all go out, man. Man, come holler at us, man. Before you go downtown. And also, thinking about downtown, if you're in the La Crosse, Wisconsin area, please check out Press Break. Downtown La Crosse, Wisconsin, man. If you're looking for some good Chicago food, Chicago dogs, the cheesy beef, the cheesy nachos, check out Press Break late nights, downtown La Crosse, Wisconsin. Also, man, while you in the car, man, if you just at home tonight, man, playing a game, playing dominoes, doing whatever you're doing on a Saturday night, download that app, man. Bump that radio app, man. Some of deep bringing back music like how it used to be, man. Download the Bump That Radio app. And also, it's a Saturday night, man. Fuck, last Saturday you forgot somebody scuffed your sneakers. No problem. If you're in the La Crosse, Wisconsin area, check out a Breath of Fresh. They are one of the top restoration sneaker stores in the nation. Actually in Wisconsin. Check my boy out, Focus, a Breath of Fresh. He also has sneakers in there, rare sneakers, Jordans, Supreme. Also has some clothing in there. A Breath of Fresh, man. I can't say it enough. If you're in the La Crosse, Wisconsin area, check him out. If you also want to check out some of the products he got, check him out on Instagram. Check us out on Instagram. We're also on Facebook. Please go subscribe to Old Heads. Everybody that's been rocking with us, we need y'all to go subscribe. Go subscribe. Go to YouTube. Look up Old Heads. Go subscribe. We're also on YouTube under C Hendo. CEEHENDO. C Hendo. And we're also on Facebook, man. Check us out, man. I keep telling y'all, stop fucking watching Sports Center. You don't have to do that. You can come right here and watch Old Heads and get all your information. If y'all into fantasy, check us out, man. We're gonna be telling you about all the hottest players, man. So Old Heads episode 27, man. Looking forward to episode 30. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. I'm your co-host, Omar, aka O'Milly, aka that dude, aka Mr. Rello. If you know, you know. I'm out, man. You brothers want to say anything?
Boy,
Yeah,
Bills.
though. Be looking for our Christmas apparel, man.
Oh,
Check
yeah,
out
we got
Old
that.
Head Sweaters, man.
Oh,
we got
yeah.
some dope clothing coming up, man.
Oh yeah, we definitely got that coming out. We're working on hopefully a website too. But Old Heads, man, we out episode 27. Giddy.